one of our guys can generate and actual like deals in a month, anywhere between 150 to it can go all the way up to $250,000. One guy can do that. So like if you can get a closer, but you're going to get what you pay for. Like I said, like I wouldn't go into it thinking, you're looking for a rock star, man. If you want to scale it up and really like do something serious, and you can still keep it small. I'm not saying go out there and build a big team, but I would at least get one person that can really go out there and crush it. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about your business now and like what you got going on and what everything looks like.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, I don't mind holding back. So if we're just gonna talk about this year,
Or whatever. I mean, whatever it looks like now, like what you're trying to do.
yeah. So honestly, man, I'm trying to scale up to be at about 50 to 100 racks a month consistently. Back in earlier this year, like at the beginning of summer, we actually hit 50 racks a couple times, and we were doing a heavy cold call.
Okay.
And we're just kind of doing a bunch of kind of different things, and we had some turnover with the crew. And May, June, July, August. So June and July were great, and then August, man, I don't want to call it that. Lately, it's been like trying to grasp the straw. Like, wait, hold on, like, where did we lose the vein? Like, where is it at? Let's try and get back on track.
Right.
So, I don't want to say that we're grasping for straws, but I kind of want to say we're grasping for straws in the sense that I'm trying to hit that vein again. I'm trying to get back on it.
Sure.
But shoot, man, just lately, hey, man, I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. If I'm trying to maximize my experience with y'all, I'm looking for that vein again. I know I got it. I got the back end system to handle the lead. My buyers list is about 16,000 deep. We've been getting by with like older deals we got at the beginning of the year. I blast out a couple of JV deals through my buyers list, and I get deals like that. But as far as like marketing, like for myself, man, it just kind of stalled out. I'm just being honest with you.
Okay. What market are you in, man?
Man, Dallas Fort Worth, kind of.
Ah.
Man, Texas is the greatest country on earth.
Yeah.
Go Cowboys.
All right, cool, man. So what? All right, tell me, what has your team changed at all since then? Like, I'm just trying to figure out what are you doing different now versus what you were doing then.
Man, so what it was, man, was we made a couple of changes, and honestly, man, I got frustrated. So we were doing, I hired some cold callers out in the Philippines and stuff.
Okay.
And we were. I wouldn't say that, the leads were popping. I remember one time we generated like 300 leads in a month, but none of the leads were really hot.
Okay.
So, we had that going. We had a couple of guys in the office. Those two guys left, and it wasn't a big deal. It is what it is, different interests, whatever. Man, with the VAs, I finally got the quality control, like the recording.
Yeah.
To Mojo.
Okay.
Man. I found out that half of these JVs, man, or VAs.
They were horrible, weren't they?
Man, terrible as
yeah.
Bro. Like I would find like a couple of them. The convo would be like 20 seconds long, and this dude was like sitting chatting with his friends for the rest of 15 minutes with his homeboy. And oh man, I didn't get any leads today. Man. I let him go, and I let everybody go because they just kind of sucked. And then from there, I was just like, I got to try something different, and I just don't necessarily, because for me it was like, okay, with the BAs, it essentially means you have to stay on top of them all the time.
Yeah.
So.
No, for sure. Were they reporting at all, like numbers?
Yeah, no, man, they would, I had like a scorecard
Okay.
You know?
So what does it look like now as far as your acquisition side? Like, I mean, how many people do you have? I mean, do you have any more cold callers?
Nah, man, I don't. Not the cold callers. I've been looking at different things, man. At one point I remember, y'all know Carlos Castell, right?
Yes.
For Arizona. Yeah, so I remember at one point, Carlos called me up because I went in their office in February.
Okay.
I remember at one time he called me up. He was like, "Yo, we just released call gigs at 12 racks a month," and I mean, I was just like, "Shit, I'm not really trying to pay 12 racks a month."
Right.
And I've just been kind of like looking at like different services versus trying to self-manage the VAs. But honestly, it's just me, one guy. I have a crew that does data scraping for me. It's just like one man VA, and that's it, man.
So, all right.
Go ahead.
So it seems like you need some cold callers to me, man.
You think so?
I mean, are you not cold calling right now?
Nah, not really, nah. I just got discouraged, bro. Like, I really did. I was just like,
Yeah, but I just wouldn't hire VAs, dude.
Well, so right now, where are your leads coming in from right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so right now, I got some JVs going on, doing a little bit of RBM. Nothing too major, and then that's really it.
Well, we'll talk cold calling on steroids this week. That'll help you a ton. I mean,
Yeah.
that'll replace that whole slice of the pie, and then you don't have to worry about managing VAs.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, I highly discourage anyone like doing the VA thing. Like, I know that what's his name? I'm not going to even like get into his name, but the one guy offers like cold calling services for investors with VAs. Like, and I personally like, yeah, dude, we still have one VA left. And we use her as like more of like data stuff. Like, she goes in and like gets all our list, and then also might do some like late night, like kind of rollover phone calls throughout that come in through the night or whatever. Like, I moved her to night shift just for that reason. But as far as anything like on the sales side, like, I just do not. The VAs, dude, I discourage that for sure. I would say that.
It's tough, man.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they're not here, and there's usually always some type of just, even if they speak English really well, it's really not ever that well, and there's always like delays in the phone. I mean, right out of the gate, like, these people are typically skeptical. Like, you're reaching out to them asking about buying their house. So, if they hear like pauses in the phone, they feel like they're talking to someone like out of the country or something. Like, red flags are going up everywhere. So I mean, dude, if I was you, like, since it seems like you're really just focused on the VA side of stuff, I would try to bring someone in the office that could do, some calling, like someone that's good in sales, like. I mean, someone, obviously it's gonna require you to pay them well if you want someone really good, and then also someone that can be, maybe they do a little bit of both. They also do like some outside sales as well, but at least like one good salesperson. I mean, I think you definitely need that if you want to get back to that point, because
Who was
really
closing those deals? Like, where were those deals coming from, and who was closing them?
Right.
Yeah.
Good point.
At the beginning, so it was just us four. So it was like a weird structure, man. So at the beginning of this year, I wanted to restructure the company and just be like, man, I just want to do this on my own. And then the three of them were actually my homeboys that would hit the phone for me. And I told them, all right, well, this is all I'm willing to pay. This is what I'm doing. It's not really a set in stone. But if you call X and we get a deal off of it, I'll give you X percentage. That was actually where the bulk of everything was coming from. And it worked out great, man. And then, what I found was it would kind of get hard because they were doing it off the straight commission. And, you have to come into the office, motivate them, give them a rah-rah speech to, show them, hey, look at such and such, you're doing this.
Right.
And kind of get them going again. And then, I think, in March, we just kind of split up and decided, hey, they wanted to do something different. And I was like, all right, that's what's up. All right, that's cool. So that's
Yeah, I mean, and Josh, you can jump in here too in a second. I just want to say one thing, man, about like the whole employee thing is like what I've found in like hiring a bunch of different people now is you really get what you pay for as far as employees and building out your team. So you always want to hire up and hire for like where you want to go, not for necessarily where you are now or like necessity. You never want to put yourself in a position where you're hiring based on necessity. So unfortunately, like that's kind of where we are right now is like you need that position or either that, like, are you willing to jump in there and really like start cranking out and doing some closes in the meantime. I mean, that's really, if I was you and I was in your position, I would be doing it myself while looking for that other person, and at least somewhat, right, to at least keep the ball rolling, and refining the processes and everything like that. But I mean, dude, honestly, like you need somebody, you need a closer.
Okay.
You agree with that, Josh, or what?
Yeah, when you were doing those deals, Prince, so those guys were doing it. How did it work? Did they generated the leads, closed the leads, and then you just did the disposition, or like what did your?
No, that was it. That's it right there.
Okay, so then they kind of split up, and then that was when did that split up happen?
He said in March.
About March.
Okay, but I thought you said didn't you have 50,000 months this summer?
No,
Or that was back when they were there.
That was back when they were there. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's between March and April, bro. I want to say that.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
they left at about the beginning of summer.
So then, since the beginning of the summer, you've just been basically living off of JV deals?
No, yeah, living off the JV deals, trying out some RVM type stuff. Anything I can get, man.
who's doing the RVM? Are you doing the RVM yourself?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you just record a voicemail. Hey, my name's Prince, looking to buy a house in the area, drop.
Then you're just listening to the voicemails as they come back in.
My main DA does. Yeah.
Okay, but is he calling them back or are you calling them back?
No, sure. So what it is what I do is, hey, I tell her, hey, I need you to call these people back and just get, basic information. Don't negotiate, don't start appointments, and then I'll call them back. I tell her to do that just so these people don't go somewhere else or try not to go somewhere else.
Do you call them all back? You call everybody back or just people that seem interested?
Nah, people who leave on the voicemail and say, hey, I saw you call, I'm interested in selling, or I want to sell, 123 Main in Dallas, Texas, or whatever like that. I just call them people.
Okay, so she's calling them, or so she's calling everybody, and you're calling the good ones first, or is she calling everybody first and then you call?
She's calling so the voicemails that say I'm interested, she calls those first.
Okay.
And then as soon as I pull it back to the office or whatever, I call them quick that same time.
Okay.
So why, if you're calling them quick, why does she call them?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that first call needs to be a sales call, not just a gather information call, in my opinion.
For sure. I mean, just like I said, sometimes I'll be running around or, on employment. So if the voicemail does come in, and if I can't get to it, I would like her to at least touch them.
But how long is it going to be till you call them back?
Honestly, about 30 minutes to an hour.
So just call them back. You're just playing phone tag with them anyways, and your RVM, I'll talk a lot about this stuff with cold calling on steroids, but your RVM's probably pretty generic, right?
What do you use? What do you use?
But I mean, it's not a big branded thing. It's just kind of like, hey, I'm calling you. You have any interest in selling your house, right? It's pretty simple.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. It's a general message. My name's Prince. I'd like,
Right. So it's not like, if it was Google pay-per-click, then I get it. It's like, yeah, you got to be on those right away, or even mail more so. But with this, honestly, I think you can just, if you're going to be calling them, the ones you're talking about that they say on the voicemail, I'm interested in selling my house. If you're calling them back anytime, same day, really, I mean, I think that's fine. And then that's going to be that much better because you're going to tee them up all the way through instead of, them being handed off.
Yeah, and I also have a cool script that's like an indirect type of sale that's like, it's more not really for the RVM, but it's for like the actual like cold calling using Mojo, that I was going to share with anyone that wanted it. It's pretty, it's solid. It's different, it's unique. It's different than what everyone else is doing. I've shared it with a few people and they're using it now. And are you one of the guys I gave it to?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so I didn't give it to you. So there's a few people that reached out to me. I gave it to, but yeah, man, I would definitely say like if you want to. I mean, two people can definitely achieve like that 50 a month. For sure. Like you and someone else, if like you want to be working. But I mean, like here's an example, right? Like with us, just one of our guys can generate and actual like deals in a month, anywhere between 150 to, and it can go all the way up to $250,000. One guy can do that. So like if you can get a closer, but you're going to get what you pay for, like I said, like I wouldn't go into it thinking you're looking for a rock star, man. If you want to scale it up and really like do something serious, and you can still keep it small. I'm not saying go out there and build a big team, but I would at least get one person that can really go out there and crush it.
Like one acquisition manager, one cold caller. What do you? Like,
well, I mean, I would. So here's the thing. I think what I'm really trying to say is like a serious sales guy. So if you're not doing any like mail or anything like that, then I would focus more on you were having success cold calling. So I would do the cold calling, but I would separate it, right? So I would make him be both, in essence. I would make him do the calls, but then maybe he only does the calls like throughout a certain period of the day, and then he tries to set his appointments, and then he goes to his appointments.
Okay, so essentially the same thing that I had with like the two guys earlier this year, right?
Right, but like really good one.
Basically, what I would say is because we can talk about how to get more leads and stuff like that, and you can combine the two RVM with what those guys were doing. But with those guys, they were doing the whole thing, right? I mean, they were making calls, they were following up with leads, they were closing the deal, they were doing everything on the acquisition side. And that's how you like doing it?
I mean, if there's a better way to do it, cool.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying, like, what's your favorite thing to do? Do you like being more involved with acquisitions, or would you rather be more involved in just do the disposition?
That's the real question,
I feel like I could go, I don't know, man, if it's a pick either or, I feel like I can go either way.
I mean, do you want more of a job or a business? That's really the question.
Business.
You want a business. Okay.
Business.
So, all right. I mean, the reason that I said that, dude, is because like that's something that you can focus on, like getting that person in there and, hopefully relatively fast. Like ideally, like I would say that it's more like a two people thing. You know what I mean? But I was thinking like I'm not trying to overwhelm you either and feel like you got to go out and hire all these people to get going when I mean realistically you could take that one person to get you on track back to where you want to be and then take a look at okay, how do I build this thing out to get myself out of it, yada yada yada, and start building it out as a real business. But I mean I was just looking at it as just purely something that you could do fast and just focus on that one hire to get you to a better position. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. I got you.
I mean, what do you think about that?
Man, I think that's lit, man. Because like I said, it's like trying to find a vein. You know what I mean? So that probably is the answer.
Yeah, and they're not the easiest to find, dude. I mean, I'm not trying to say that they're just falling off trees like quality salespeople are. They're quality salespeople, so they can get a job anywhere. So I'm trying out a new thing, and I'll tell you about it if you want to try it. So it's called timetohire.com. And what they do is they go out and they source salespeople So they're almost like a middleman. It's like $3.99, and then they'll go out and like you tell them exactly what you're looking for. A lot of Fortune 500 companies use them for salespeople, for outside and inside sales. You tell them like if you want a cold caller, if you want an outside sales, whatever. Then they'll go out and comb resumes in the radius, like around your city or wherever you're looking for. They will comb through all resumes like online and like find like super qualified people that would be a match for that job. When you send them like the job description, and then they will actually set up a campaign to reach out and email and like phone, like call all those people, and then set it up to where it looks like it's actually you sending them a voicemail or an email, whatever, and then they will reach back out to you. But someone's got to be there to take all those calls and set those interviews and everything. But I'm testing that out right now for actually a cold caller, so I can keep you posted on how that works out. I think we're running the campaign Wednesday, so we'll see. But yeah, so I mean that's where I'm at, man. I mean, Josh, what do you have to add to that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just taking it all in and trying to get a feel. So right now you're a one-man band.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I like the RVM. You said you had a month where you had like 300 leads. You weren't able to turn anything from it.
No, so that wasn't RVM. I'm sorry. Shoot, man, I might have bought the story. That was straight cold calling with the VAs.
Oh, okay.
But see, yeah, I don't know if their term of the lead and my definition of the lead was on the same page or not.
Right, I understand. Some crazy, yeah. So
didn't really pan out.
So, and I'll give you the whole thing on this. I think Thursday, the first day. But basically, I would use cold calling on steroids or RVM, and that strategy. I like cold calling on steroids better, and I'll get into the specifics on the difference. But that basic concept, right, to keep bringing in leads. And then I agree with James. You need to hire an acquisition person, somebody who's really good. But bring on, like, you can close, you can sell, you can do that stuff. So bring them on. Bring somebody who's already in sales. You know, I prefer car sales.
Yeah,
but somebody who, because if they get sales, you can teach them the rest. It's really simple. You're like, you know, and you can evaluate the houses and all that kind of stuff and show them the ropes until they can start kind of evaluating them and filtering them themselves. But you know, having a consistent lead flow with that combined with having somebody else to help you, so that as you get busy and then you're working disposition, because I can imagine you were probably pretty busy those 40 and 50 grand months, right, with disposition. You guys had probably multiple deals going on.
Yeah, we were selling them off the shelf, man. I used to, because I was when I got out of high school, I started selling cars too. So I used like a lot of like car sales and tactics to growth high. Things. So yeah, it was lit, man. I'm telling you, man. You know, the beginning of summer was awesome. I mean, it was lit. You know.
So I would just try to kind of duplicate that. And then what happened with the guys? Was it a matter of they wanted a higher percentage of it, or what happened when that kind of split?
Man, it was crazy, man. You know, they want, they did want a higher percentage, and eventually they kind of started doing, they started doing it themselves. What I didn't, and I don't know what y'all believe in or don't believe in, but what I didn't do was I didn't protect myself. I left myself wide open. There was no paperwork signed or anything like that. So yeah, they left. I heard they started their own thing.
At that point, I've never been one to get super hung up on paperwork. At that point, they're probably just not the right fit anyways. It's kind of like, maybe you had a good time with your boys. You guys all made some money, but they're kind of more, that's why you guys are boys, because you're both kind of similar. You're all similar into that. Like they want to go out and make money.
We do paperwork, but I mean, honestly, like I wouldn't, like in the future, I wouldn't hire, like any like friends or like relatives.
Yeah, that's a tough dynamic. So I mean, and I've done both. I've done both for sure. It can be a tough dynamic, but I think I would just get back to where you were, adjust some things. You had the momentum, and then obviously utilizing RVM and cold calling on steroids to give those guys more leads as well, combined with the triple dialer. But yeah, I would just let's get you back to 100% consistency. So that in addition to doing some JV deals, you're also doing, 2, 3, 4 deals of your own a month. Now, start training somebody just to kind of go alongside you, and you can start turning up that marketing as they start being able to filter out the leads for you, telling you which one's hot. Now you're kind of going on appointments with them. You know what I mean? You slowly teach them how to hunt, and obviously take the things that you learned before, you know, from those other experiences, you know, values, personality types, that kind of things, and figure out who your next acquisition, like obviously they have to sell, but what are the other things? If they're going to be entrepreneurial, do they have a background of jumping one thing to another, you know, whatever? Or can you go poach somebody that's been at the same car dealership for 6 years that you're like, hey, how much are you making? He's like, I make 8 to 12 grand. And you're like, what if I showed you how you could make 12 to 15 and not work weekends?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
No, you definitely, like I said, you want an experienced sales guy. Like, I mean, and it's gonna, you know, like you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to pay for them. Like, it's gonna have to be. I mean, I personally recommend, you know, like just doing 100% commission. That's
What kind of percentage you pay out?
So here's the thing, man. We're unique. I mean, I know that people, you know, I hear anything from, you know, like a small base and like 5% all the way up to 12%, like straight commission. You know, if they're solid and they're worth it, like I would try my best to start them off between like 8 and 10. You know, that's just me. I mean, and you can even do it like on a scale. You know
I
what
pay
mean?
8 and 12, but the biggest thing is like, so they're 8, their bonus, they hit 12, so that's a 50% increase. But the biggest thing is going to be, you know, are they consistently closing deals? You know, and if it's too easy and then they think they can go do it themselves, like that's a problem too. So maybe separate the disposition piece. So, you know, they don't necessarily.
No,
you know.
I wouldn't have them do acquisitions in this.
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying separate them from that. In other words, they write the deal, that's it. And then they find out what it's been sold for. Like, don't have them be involved in the dispositions.
No, I agree.
Is one thing that's going to help with that. But bottom line, I think, honestly, it's just finding the right people that want to be part of the vision. And as long as they're close, 8 to 12, like what I do is 8 to 12%, they're always going to make a $1,500 draw minimum. If they don't have a pipeline that can cover that, like if they didn't get paid in the last 2 weeks, nothing closed, and I'm giving them $1,500 and they don't have a pipeline that I know I'm going to be covered from that, then that's the problem.
So we started out as like whenever we bring someone on, like depending, you know, on the person, we've done it 2 different, you know, ranges, but anywhere from like 5 to like 750 per week, and it's a draw system, so it's like just to like so they have something coming in.
But so what? How much percentage were you paying those guys, Prince?
Yeah, so the 2 guys are flat 15. That was it, 50% of it.
50?
15.
No, 15.
15. That's what you were paying the guys,
Yeah,
and they wanted more.
I guess so.
Well, how would they sell the deals? Did they have access to the buyer's list?
Hell no. I kept all that stuff locked up. They didn't have access to the buyer's list. They didn't know how I built it. I mean, they knew obviously we were using MailChimp, but nah, I'd never give them a plugin.
So how were they? Why did they want to go do their own thing?
They obviously probably want to make more money.
You know what it is, man? I think what it is, and I think, you know, excuse my language, but I think I fucked up here. I think what it is when we went to, because in February, Carlos called me and gave me an invite to his office.
You took that.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah, you brought him into the whole business. I think that could be a problem for sure.
No,
I've done the
absolutely.
same thing. I did that with my old guy Dan that now works for Sean Terry. I know he was an old friend. I've done the same thing, but bottom line, what I've made, and I've got some really good guys right now, is that if they're bought into the vision, they want to be a part of what you have to offer them and show them, and not just so they can run and do it themselves. But the other side of the stick, bro, is sales is always going to be a cycle. So you're going to have turnover anyways, so who cares? As long as you know how to close, you're consistent with your marketing, you're getting those deals, you can always have 1 or 2 salespeople coming through. And you're going to find the right ones that are going to stick. So as long as they know how to set as long as they understand the basic principles and they're teachable, you know?
Yeah, and here's the thing. Like, I agree. There is a lot of turnover in sales. there is ways to do it as far as like, you know, building the right culture, atmosphere, and structure, like for them to where you can retain top salespeople and keep them super happy. But I mean, it's going to require, you know, having that structure in place and providing them, you know, with just a quality leads and you know, a place to go, like where they feel like they're still able to move up in the company and they're not just stagnant and staying exactly where they are. So but yeah, man, we can touch on all this too more at the intensive. I mean, so yeah, man, you know, I think that's pretty much where you're at, and you know, we're definitely excited to see you, bro.
Man, that's what's up, man. Is it gonna be? How many people are going? Is it like big? Like, is it?
No, we made it super tight. I don't know. I think it's like 8 or 9 or something like that. Yeah, we made it super tight, man, and we told everybody like we wanted to keep it really tight because we want to be able to dig into each and every one of you guys' business and really make sure you leave with like an exact game plan on how to go out there and crush it. So that's how we set it up. We didn't want 20, 30 people in there or anything crazy.
Okay, yeah. What's the attire? Like, you got suit up or?
I mean, you can just do like business casual, dude. That's fine.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, we're not stressing on the dress code, bro. You're good.
Okay, cool, man. Well, yeah, no, I'm definitely excited, man. I've never been to Jacksonville before, so I'm cool.
I ain't never been here either, brother. It was wet today. Hopefully it's a little sunnier the end of the week.
Yeah.
No, but it's super cool. It's actually it's a beautiful city. We were checking it out. I'm excited to see more of it, but I'm excited to meet you as well, brother.
Yeah, man. We're both excited to see you there, and you know, we look forward to really like digging deep and you know, setting you on the right path, my man.
Yeah, bro. I'm reading everything, man. I got notes. If y'all want to see my photo, it's wide open. Ask me how I'm doing. I mean, shoot, I'm giving everything.
Yeah, everyone's gonna have a chance to literally just get up and like, you know, go over like the whole scenario of what they're doing, and you know, we're gonna break everything down and you know, put together the plan to build it all back up.
Yeah, that's hype, man. That's what's up, man. I'm hype. That's exciting, man. I really appreciate y'all.
No, man. Hey, we appreciate you, so we look forward to seeing you in a couple days.
All right, yeah, I'll be there tomorrow, man. So yeah, I'll talk to y'all probably Thursday then.
All right, bro. We'll see you Thursday morning.
All right, guys. Appreciate you too, Josh.
Later, Brent.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, Josh. Appreciate it.